Hi, I'm your host, Erica Polsinelli, and welcome to Evolve by Erica, the podcast, where we talk all things spirituality, ascension, health, wellness, and beyond. I'm so excited that you are here. Come on in. Welcome back for another episode. Today, we're talking about your brain on Kundalini and how it truly helps you to live a more positive life. So, when we begin a practice of Kundalini meditation, we become an observer of our thoughts. It is the yoga of awareness, which helps us to have awareness over the thoughts that we are thinking. We have to think about what we're thinking. It's like this metacognition. And some of us, before we have a practice, before we have a spiritual awakening, we don't really have that ability. We're like, oh, that's an anxious thought. But we're able, once we have this practice, to really zoom out and be able to see what the thoughts are, and not only what they are, but where they're coming from. And then we have this power to change them and to shift them. So what starts to happen from the practice of breath work, of high frequency mantra, the movements, the specific angles that we work with in Kundalini, is that we're activating the frontal cortex of the body, of the brain. And through this, we are accessing more of this space, and it's bringing us a heightened awareness. And from there, we're activating the pineal gland and pituitary gland, which works to enhance our brain's capability and be able to access this new level of wisdom through our intuition. So while we're doing that, we're gaining this awareness of our thoughts, and we're able to see the thoughts, where they're coming from. And then we're more able to actually mind train ourselves. And this was also a very big part of my journey that led to a life with less anxiety and no more panic attacks, thank God. So the practice helped to power the energy and the power of this mind training. Because what starts to happen is you have the awareness of the thoughts, and then you are able to choose. You're able to see that the thought does not serve you, and you're able to then choose a better thought that you have. And what starts to happen is you create new neural pathways. Our mind knows how to think the thoughts that we grew up listening to, that we grew up hearing, that we grew up telling ourselves. And it's very easy to continue on that path, especially it gets a lot harder after the age of 35. It's not impossible, but we're just very set in our ways by that time. And we can very easily, for the rest of our life, continue to run the same thoughts, the same programs, and then in turn, create the same exact reality. Because we're just recycling thoughts. That's what most of our thoughts are. The practice helps us to actually be able to think new thoughts and think more new thoughts. And they're going to be positively charged thoughts, because now we're working with this high frequency energy practice that's of a higher frequency, of a more positive frequency and flow. And what then starts to happen is the communication in our body becomes more positive. Our glandular system is now working and moving to a more positive rhythm. We're having a whole different physical experience, as well as emotional, mental, spiritual experience because of this. One of the top meditations that helps to create these new neural pathways, I want to say every single Kundalini practice is going to give you the benefits we talk about. Every one, because we're using the movements, the breath work, the mudras, the eye gazes, the mantras to help acquire and access this high frequency that lives within us, that we have access to. But one of them that specifically helps with the new neural pathways is the addiction meditation. This helps us to release the thoughts that we're addicted to, that are constantly replaying in our mind, and helps us to recircuit. It gives us access to more of our brain, creating these new circuits, these new neural pathways, so that we could think newer, more positive thoughts. Once we start to think these newer, more positive thoughts, our experience changes because the glandular system is moving at a different rhythm. And then our field is impacted by this. Our field is expanded. We feel more positive, so we feel safer. We feel safer to be. We feel safer to be seen. We feel safer to take action. We feel safer to share. We feel safer in all ways. And once we feel safer, and that's a root chakra component, we literally root to rise, and our energy field extends. And when our energy field extends, that's when we create a whole new reality. Because through the field, we're able to manifest in opportunities, experiences, relationships, and all of the things. We're coming from this calm, centered space, positive space. And then that's what we're amplifying and projecting out. So through the practice, we're literally changing the frequency of our thoughts. We're bringing negative thoughts to positive thoughts. And sometimes we can also do this more manually. I had to do this very manually as I was healing my health anxiety, where I had to say, there's the thought again. We're switching it to this positive thought. But the practice supports us in doing it, having the awareness to spot it, and then to switch it, flip it, and activate a more positive frequency. And from there, that's where manifestation occurs, and we start to live a completely different reality. And the practice has this really powerful healing capabilities because of all of the avenues and the places we're coming to move our energy. We're moving it through movement. We're moving it through sound. We're moving it through breath. We're moving it through intention. We're moving it through quantum leaping and visualization. And that's really powerful. So I want you to realize how powerful you are and how this practice gives you the energy to access that power within you. Have the awareness that that power lives within you, and be able to allow that to rise. And once we start to change our thoughts, I feel like Joe Dispenza always says, we change our thoughts, we change our life, we change our entire experience. And that's what Kundalini and the practice helps us to really do, and gives us the power, the energy, and the awareness to do. And you can practice any of them, and you will be able to experience that profound effect. Doing this first thing in the morning is the most powerful time to do it. You get the most bang for your buck. Doing it any time is great, but first thing in the morning, we're able to dip into the subconscious much easier. And we're able to bring up the negative programs or any negative experiences that are lingering in our subconscious that's holding us from truly getting the energetic upgrade that we're working towards. And that's the other aspect about how powerful this practice is. It's working the subconscious. Sometimes we're doing all the things, we're working with affirmations and we're moving our body, we're drinking matcha instead of coffee, we're doing all of these things for healing. But in order to get the software upgrade in the physical body, we need to go into the subconscious and clear out any programs that are running. It's kind of like the tabs on a computer. We have to X out the old programs that are running because they will create the same experience for us. Our subconscious will continue to drive us and drive our experience, creating the past, creating the same present moment over and over again, unless we go in, dip in, clear it out. That really gives us that software upgrade within our body. So through that, we're able to clear old programs, heal things that have been lingering, that haven't been healed, retrieve them, bring them up to heal it so that we can then step into this more upgraded version of ourselves. We can't get to where we want to be unless we truly do the work and heal what needs to be healed. And I know there's an emphasis in the collective of shadow work and needing to bring up all the dark shit that's within us. yes, we need to confront that and acknowledge it in order to heal it. But what I've experienced, a lot of the journey with Kundalini is actually almost like a self-cleaning oven where you're doing the work, you're tuning in, and it's just cleaning a lot for you. And then it will bring up the things that need to come up, that need the attention to clear and heal. But there is so much crumb getting cleared out that you don't even know about. And then what needs to come up and be confronted will. And then you love it, you honor it, you clear it, you heal it, and then you move on and get that upgrade. The other aspect is the breath work helps us to distract the part of the mind that needs to be constantly thinking and doing, because we're human beings. We're never not thinking about anything. So when you think of meditation and you think about going into meditation, you're like, oh, that person's thinking about nothing. That's not true. We're always thinking about something. So the breath work helps to distract that part of the brain that thinks it needs to always be thinking. It's giving it something to do. It's like, here, play with this. Play with this. 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out, or 8 breaths in, 1 breath out. And then while it's distracting that part of the brain, it's being sneaky and it's able to dip into the subconscious even further and to be able to clear out what needs to move, able to access our intuition, activate our intuition, and help us to come into the state of feeling bliss, feeling expansive, and feeling expanded. So there's a lot going on as we practice all components of Kundalini. And it is a very efficient practice. It's a very quick practice. If you want to get somewhere quickly, if you're here to go all in, if you're one of those people that's like 0 to 100, you're going all in, this is 100% the practice for you, because it's a very accelerated path. You're going to get a lot done in a little bit of time. And when I say that, it means you could spend 3 minutes of meditation or 60 minutes of meditation. A Kundalini practice for 3 minutes is very powerful. What I also mean, if you're choosing the longer meditations, you're still getting a lot done in a very little bit of time, because however much you put into the practice, the rewards of that is times thousands. And that's just what comes with this path. And it helped me to heal so quickly. It helped me to manifest so many things so quickly. And that's why I'm so super passionate about it and love sharing it and love bringing it and introducing it to people, because there's a lot to get done. And this is the quickest way to get there. So this is a little bit about what Kundalini does to the brain, how it impacts our life, how it helps us to be overall more positive and attracted more positive experiences. If you have any other questions related to the practice, please feel free. If you're watching this on YouTube, you could drop them in the comments. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, you can always DM me at incal.xcal, and I would love to do more episodes answering any questions you may have. Thank you so much for being here today. And I can't wait to see you next time. If you feel guided to rate, review the podcast, or share it with a friend who you think would love it, it means the world to us here. Thank you. I will see you next time. May the long time sun shine upon you. Sat Nam.